All right. Well, hello, Christine. How are you?
Hello, David. How are you?
Very, very good. It's been a while since we've seen each other, but when I heard you were on today, I thought I would take advantage of being able to see you again and to be able to introduce you to a very special guest that happened to stop by this morning, my mom, Ruth Conway.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Mrs. Conway. What a pleasure. What a treat to have you with us today.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we start February, it's the first of February, and it
It
just
sure
happens, and
is.
it happens to be Black History Month. And my mom, who turns 99 this month on the 25th, epitomizes that history, if you will.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for a long time.
and so it's just so great for her to be able to join us. And I was telling her all about you, and so she was certainly interested in meeting you.
I think I'm more interested in meeting Mrs. Conway. I got to be honest. What
Oh,
a treat to have you here.
well, I tell you something. It's always great to hang out with her, and certainly it's always great to get together with you, especially when you're going to, do what you do best, which is turn us on to some very interesting culinary treats. So, what do you got going on today?
All right. So listen, we're coming out of the holidays, right? And it has been a baking frenzy over here. And
Mhm.
I have been making all of these things. I've been making way too much of them, right? Everything needs a big 9 by 13 pan or something. And it's just too much stuff. And my husband can't eat chocolate, which has probably saved me. But I decided that I was going to figure out how to make an apple crisp for one person. So that if
Hmm.
you're feeling a little peckish, as my mother in law used to say, if you're feeling a little peckish, this is something you can whip up really quickly for just one of you, or you can easily double it and have
Okay.
two of you if you like.
All right. So the idea is that you're making just enough for what you're going to use, and versus having a bunch of leftovers that may not get used.
I hate throwing stuff away. I just hate it. It makes me crazy and it just feels so
You're that
wasteful
way
to me.
too, aren't you?
Well,
So,
it's true.
I, Mrs. Conway, I bet you are very careful with the things you use and, waste.
Yeah, but you see, it,
Yeah.
it's cooking for one person that's very difficult to do, and I live alone, so I'm not too much into the cooking because of that. You see, because you
It's,
don't want to waste, and you have to buy it, and
yeah,
if you make too much of it, I can't eat it forever. And you
right.
don't want it to go badly.
Right.
And sometimes
You
I freeze it,
know
but
what's what because I am telling you right now, it is cooking for one or cooking for two. You don't want to spend all day in the kitchen for a meal you're going to eat in 10, 15 minutes, right? It's annoying. So here's what we're going to do instead. Okay. I think you'll like this. I know you've, you know, finished with your cooking years maybe, but I think you'll like this. Do you ever eat an apple crisp?
oh yeah, I love it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now I want to hear then that you have made this. Here's what I'm doing. I'm taking an apple, and I'll be totally honest with you. Old apple. It's an old apple. Perfect. An old apple is great for baking. And I like a Granny Smith. You know why you like Granny Smith, Mrs. Conway? Because
Well,
she is a tart.
oh,
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the Granny Smith. I like the tanginess that comes with that, the tartness that comes with it, because we're gonna add a little sugar to it. Granny Smith apples also hold up really well when you're baking. They don't just turn into mush. They're not an applesauce kind of apple. So what I'm gonna do, I have this little ramekin. I also have these little tiny cast iron pans. You could use that a little um, higher, it'll take a little longer to cook. Flatter, it'll take a little less time. And what I've done is I have some avocado oil that I used. You can use a little butter if you wanted, but a little avocado oil or whatever you've got. I think I'd steer clear of the veg oil, but we're going to pop that right in there. I just want to grease that pan a little, or that little dish. And then my apples go right in. Now you can see we're like right up at the top. No problem, because as our apples cook, they'll sink down because we got to leave room for ice cream, right? We always have to leave room for ice cream. So what I have here is just 1 teaspoon of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. That's it. And I'm just gonna swirl them right there and sprinkle them right on top of my apples. Now check it out, because I also don't love to do dishes. How about you?
No, you don't.
No on the dishes, right? So we're going to take it, and I'm just going to give it a little stir right in the ramekin. That's it. Just make sure it's evenly distributed. Now, this is a good place if you have some lemons hanging out. If you have some lemons hanging out, you can give it a little squeeze of lemon juice, but you don't have to, because we're going to cut this, cook it. We don't have to worry too much about our apples oxidizing or turning brown. So we have that right there. Pretty easy breezy, yes? All right, so check this out. I've got my little bowl of butter. I kept it in the fridge. Our crumb topping is all in this bowl. Do you see how few dishes I'm making? I love this part. So I'm going to use some old-fashioned oats. I feel like the quick cook oats get mushy and the steel cut oats will never be cooked. So I'm using old-fashioned oats. I have a tablespoon of those. I have a tablespoon of flour to give it a little body. I have another 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. And because I'm a little salty, I always put a little salt in it. David knows.
A little touch.
Just a little touch. And I'm just going to mix it up. Now, here's the thing. If you are watching your sugar, this is a great place to use the sugar substitute that works for you. I find sometimes they have an off taste to them. So if you were not using very much in this, and I think that is going to be more pleasing to you from a taste standpoint. Once I have that all mixed together, I have 2 teaspoons. That's it, 2 teaspoons of butter. Because have you ever had one of those cakes that you make in a mug? Have you ever had one of those?
A mug cake?
Okay. Yeah. No? Okay, so you can make a cake in a mug, but I'm telling you, I have made them, and it's like 4 tablespoons of butter and something else. I'm like, I just ate half a stick of butter.
Yeah, no kidding.
No. Yeah, so no for me. No for me. So we just have 2 teaspoons of butter here, and keep it in the fridge. You want it kind of cold, and I'm just getting in there and smashing it, because we're not making a whole big, huge apple crisp. We can get in there with our fingers, smash it in the bottom, do whatever we do, just so it all mixes up. But you always want cold butter, because that helps our crumb be crummy. All right. And then make sure you put your oven to 350 degrees.
Okay. So preset that at 350.
Preset that at 350. I got my butter really cold. All right. And don't leave that salt out, because we all have such refined palates now that we need that little bit of salt to balance things out. All right. Now, David, you know that I'm teaching a class this weekend, right?
Yes, that's what I've heard. Yes.
All right. So I'm teaching, and we have lots of folks in it, but we have room for lots more. So we are going to be doing a class. You have to register.
Okay.
Go to the AARP Maryland. Just check out our Facebook page. We've got it there. David, do you like my new shirt?
I love it. I love it. It looks great.
I'm
Red
very
looks great
excited
on
by
you. It looks absolutely great on you.
Well, thank you. So I'm doing a class this weekend, and I was feeling a little healthy when I was getting it together. But as I was saying before, I can't get enough beans. So I am doing beans and greens. I'm just going to pile this on here.
Uh-huh.
Beans and greens with orzo and a little bit of something I'm calling my faux cacha. So you'll have to tune in to see what it is, because it's like a little bread that you bake very quickly. It's really cool.
Oh,
And
very
Mrs.
interesting.
Conway, I think I'm using cannellini beans. I'm kind of into beans right now. Have you done much cooking with beans?
No,
No, have you?
mm-mm,
Not too much.
not too much cooking.
Not too much.
Not
What
with
about
beans.
those
Not
lima
lately.
beans?
Well, it's all because of that cooking for one, and
Yes.
my kids are all 10 minutes away from me, and they see that I get food, and treat me, and they bring the food. So
We're bringing
They
her food all
should.
the time.
Yeah.
We're bringing her food, so she's gotten to the point where,
And you used to
and then
do
I go
all
to
the
dinner
cooking?
often with them, so I manage very well, without having to cook a lot. But I used to cook a lot, of course, but different now.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
exactly.
sure. My mom's favorite thing in the world was going out to eat.
Yeah,
she does a lot of that now. Yeah,
Right.
she likes.
All right, so we're going to take our little look how perfect this is, but also look how high we are. And I'm going to pull my other out of the oven. Ta-da! It's like we're on the Food Network over here.
Oh, we were watching that. Yeah.
All right. Now check it out. This one, you can see we decrease in volume a bunch as those apples cook. I do about 25 minutes, maybe 30 if I'm feeling fancy. The longer you cook, the softer the apples will be. And again, if you're using a Granny Smith, that apple is not going to get mushy. You're still going to have great little pieces. And you know what there's room for on the top of that? Since we've got 2 February birthdays in the house, right? Now, I pre-scooped because I was not about to work those forearms here, but let's see if I can get it up. See, I can't.
Is that ice cream?
Yeah, because you got to put.
Is that a big thing of vanilla ice cream I'm seeing, Christine?
Hello. How good looking. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. Come on. Now tell me that's not the perfect little dessert for one person.
I gotta say,
if I wasn't running my mouth the whole time.
It looks great. Absolutely. Outstanding.
David, I'm going to have to come and do one of these at your house with you.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to do something like that. Maybe we need to come up to Frederick. You're still up there kicking it, right?
I love Frederick.
We really ought to do something up there, with you. Bring in a few folks.
Look at all the space I have. We could have a heck of a good time.
I know we could kind of do it. Yeah, we could have a bunch of folks in the kitchen while you're doing what you do, and that'd be a lot of fun, I think.
I think that would be all right. We're talking.
All right.
So
more to come.
We've got our apple crisp for one.
Yep.
We've got class this Saturday. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to have you there. And again, today we're kicking off.
And listen, I got to tell you, I cannot believe the number of people that have already registered for this class on Saturday. It's like out of this world. I mean, from coast to coast, they're all over the place. It's an amazing.
It is such a joy.
It truly is. It's awesome.
It is. It is such a joy to do, and we have people from Rockville, and we have people from Hawaii. We have people from Colorado, and we have people from the Virgin Islands. So we have a wonderful time with it. But listen, I don't want to forget, because today is February 1st, and this is so important because we're kicking off.
It is the start of Black History Month, and and we are going to be showcasing and highlighting so many artists of all sorts, of all types, including culinary artists, I might say. So,
right. It's going to be a great month. I think it's going to be a fantastic month.
I think it will.
I can't wait to see what's in store.
It'll be outstanding. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Awesome. I'll see you there.
Okay. Take care, hon. Thank you so much.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.